Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is my Monday report and astrological view of the next 7 days. My name is Alejandra Sofia, and you can check out my website at www.starpoweralchemy.com. So we're looking at the next 7 days. Today is December 17th, tuning in to the astrological unfoldment that we are inside of and experiencing until Sunday, December 23rd. This week begins the second quarter moon. The new moon began on December 6th in the sign of Sagittarius, 16 degrees Sag. On last Saturday, we reached the half moon waxing point, which is moon phase 8. First quarter moon descending to embody. Second quarter moon this week from yesterday until this Saturday, with the full moon, the second quarter moon, the key word is expression. So rooting to rise and express and to meet expression. So the full moon is relational, very relational, and it's a rich week. It's a very rich week with the winter solstice, which is on Friday, and the winter solstice is when the sun crosses from Sagittarius into the first degree of Capricorn. So that is a very key and vital energy for the year. We are resonating through the energies of wrapping up an old year and moving into a new year that's being initiated inside of a full moon energy. So we have a full moon winter solstice being activated, and the full moon having to do with opening up to receive and share, because there's always in the relational dynamic of the sun shining upon the moon, receiving the sun's light, and this relationship they're in. It's in order to open up and share yourself, you need to receive. So it absolutely has to do with reception as well, and reception that allows to give forth. So I will be tuning into the winter solstice, and I will have a special video for that. So watch for that coming in later this week. And but this week, so that being a vital key energy to this week, as we're wrapping it up through a second quarter moon. We're wrapping up the old year, and these next few days, we've got some very key aspects, because to keep in mind that we're finishing up the sign journey in Sagittarius these next few days in the galactic degrees of Sagittarius. The galactic degrees are the last few degrees, the last 3 degrees, maybe 4 degrees of each sign. And so from 26 to 30 degrees of Sagittarius, it's in the galactic corridor of its sign journey, and oh my goodness, Sag loves to be galactic. So it's a very galactic opening up. And Sagittarius, as I've described in many of my videos recently, Sagittarius is the one in us that is the earth reveler, earth journey person on a note that knows that you're on a journey, that we're on a journey, and in this universe and on the earth. So Sagittarius really opens up to the sky, opens up to the starry roots, opens up to cosmic connections. And so very typical expressions of Sagittarius is just like, spirituality, like what to believe in. So Sagittarius rules belief and what you believe in faith, and where your faith awakens, and how you inspire yourself and come together with other people. Because Sagittarius is a sign that is about joining the global village. It's being a part of the global village and actively a part of the global village. And so here we are in the last few degrees of galactic Sag. And so true, if in tapping into the awakened and empowered and advanced, the maturity of Sagittarius, there's a maturity in awakening the universal fire inside of yourself, and opening up the wisdom channels, your universe given, your God given channels of wisdom that connects you to all that is. And Sagittarius is really alive with that knowledge that's becoming embodied. So I'll say that something about last week could have helped, and certainly helped me. I had a cathartic last few days, opening up to some really powerful connections to my old the story I've been living, my childhood places that I got traumatized, and to open up these. I mean, trauma runs deep. Trauma is what conditions us and layers us in these knots that are deeply contributing to our amnesia and our societal, our relationship to society, and the people that we're sharing society with. Like that, to be the thing with Sagittarius is that it is on a quest. Sagittarius is on a quest. Sagittarius is on a quest to really find a true spirituality. And so Sagittarius, it is about going beyond religious ideology that is dogmatic and really actually subversively wrapped up in human power dynamics, and so that conditioning that has really been placed upon one, us, you, me, that Sag wants to break free of. And Sag inwardly knows there's no limits. And so yes, there is something with Sagittarius having to find limits, having to come up against limits, and really grow and mature in a way that grants an earth container that can do something here on the planet and really make dreams come true and work on things and create things. So Sag really can use structures, needs to use structures in order to, and tools to really create those dreams that are flowing through Sagittarius, constant vision questing, and the dreams and the imaginational realms that are streaming through Sagittarius. So that's what I say, that these last few days, as you're receiving and tuning in, if you're taking the time to tune in and be introspective. This is an introspective time of year, and we have some really healing directions right now with Chiron, the wounded healer, who's now gone direct in the sign of Pisces. Pisces rules a child. It's the water element. Chiron is deep in the galactic degrees of Pisces, at 28 degrees Pisces, while the North Node, which is a destiny point, it's directional, is in a trine with that. So there's a really nice water trine right now that is about leading you home to yourself, leading your soul home to leading your spirit home to your soul. If we can just separate it for a moment, I'll try to separate it and in order to talk about it, but that part of you, your consciousness that's reaching for you, that's crying for you, that wants you, that knows that there's something else, that something in you that hasn't been quenched, that deep desire, and learning how to reroute yourself, reroute your how you think and feel, because absolutely the story, these deep emotional feelings of separation, of not belonging, that have been diluting us emotionally due to trauma, due to not being understood, due to being misunderstood, that made you misunderstand yourself, being misunderstood by key players and that were raising you, or just the ways in which you received a lack of understanding that created a lack of experience, that created these ideological embeddings, where you get embedded in these ideas that are actually not true, and holding you in this small place inside of yourself that's making you doubt yourself, making you feel you got to do it this way, the shoulding all over yourself, and in a way that's really entrapping and limiting and congesting your soul, and you keeping your spirit and your soul kind of not in this unified field and resonance of you being connected to yourself and your energy body flowing with your spirit in union with your soul, right? This is all just flowing through me right now in my separating. I'm like, can I separate spirit from soul? It's no, No, I really can't. But in this dynamic, multi-dimensional experience that we're inside of, and we're multifaceted. We are multifaceted, and we have these faculties. These, we have the emotional body, the mental body, the physical body, and different methodologies like yoga and the teachings of yoga that teach of our energy body, and so that's a very Chiron thing that I'm speaking to, as Chiron is waking up emotionally inside of us, this understanding of like, holy God, I have been rigorously mistaught. I've rigorously learned to not learn what's really happened. I've been, to be congested by all these false ideologies, or a lack of information, or and even where information has been left out of the history books, like all that, like this really deep unpacking and discovering that we have to do in order to wake up, in order to really be inside of truth. And so this journey of Sagittarius, that's on a quest, that the vision quest, the constant vision quest for this union with soul, to meet that inside of yourself that is longing for fulfillment and purpose and drive. And all this is connected to what this week what this week is vitally about, is that in these last few degrees of the sun moving through Sag, it's going to make some very key aspects to Chiron on Wednesday. On Wednesday, it makes a square to Chiron in Pisces, the Sagittarius sun. And then on Thursday, I'm looking at my notes down here. On Thursday, after the sun, so something that wants to get opened up, something wants to get healed. The sun is our vital creative flame, and it's in the sign journey of Sag, so it's our vital creative flame that wants to open up inside of us and be free and choose new routes, choose new things. Oh wow, and understanding some sort of deep emotional reception that allows you to have forgiveness towards yourself, that allows you to forgive others, that grants you more deeper openings into your emotional bodies. It could be even a really revolutionary idea of like, or feeling of like, oh my God, I'm connected to all of it. Like that kind of profound experience. This is mystical. This is emotional, and so here's Sag in its starry roots, wanting to receive all of this and be alive for all of it and say yes to life. That's Sag in this galactic degrees, and then comes into a trine, and this happens on something in that is happening for you. There's an opportunity there, and that's also allowing a deep healing to release something that needs to be left in the past, as you're writing a new narrative, as you're writing a new story. So for yourself, an empowered story, a transformational story, a story of victory, a story of triumph. That is your story, your unique story. As you are a living myth, and you are on a mystical journey of selfhood. And as you embrace all of yourself and who you are in this uniqueness, that's the power of this week, as we're wrapping it up and beginning a new year on a full moon that's culminating in the sign of Cancer, pure Cancer. I'm going to get to that in a moment, because first, after this healing, this realization, because Sag loves realization, comes into a trine with Uranus. Uranus, the awakener. Uranus, the one in us that wants to advance consciously, and it's in the sign of Aries. So we've got these two fire signs that have to do with the energy body. So it's about opening up to your existence. It's about opening up to existence on a whole new level inside of yourself, and having that kind of profound release and letting go that allows you to say, yes, please use me, or you getting it too. There's like your relationship with yourself, that like, this is about me and me and me, me and me. I call it me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I, right? That's the great I of the universe and the little I of me, but this is a big deal. It's a very big me I'm having this I am experience that I'm sharing side by side with all of you, my tribe and my human family. So Mercury, Venus, so actually a couple of other things that are happening. So much to tell you. Oh my God, this week is so powerful. So in all that, in this opening, in this catharsis, in this release, in this understanding, in this like, yes, yes, I want to advance, and I'm going to choose these new things, and the ways that you want to open up and share yourself and receive this existence that is yours to live fully. Mercury comes into Mercury that's still in the going through the degrees that it went retrograde in this fall, is going to meet Jupiter on Friday at the 10th degree of Sagittarius. So that's powerful to have that on the day of the of winter solstice. So we're really beginning this year off with a bang. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about that one. I can't wait to tune in to the winter solstice and what I see for this year, because we are in a extremely powerful year. And so to continue with this powerful week that's initiating this powerful year, so really this is a time to be introspective while you're also, you know, opening up. This is a season that highlights, this season highlights our connection to each other. This season is the one that really highlights our connection to each other. These traditions that have been tied up inside and woven through the winter solstice, that all the different, you know, traditions of ways of celebrating of, you know, this winter solstice time, this new beginning time, and these holy nights that have to really are this time between December 21st and January 6th. So these holy nights that are held inside of this, that are woven inside of the beginning of the new year. So the darkest time of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere. So with this time, as you're receiving receiving the inward knowledge, the downloads, the connections, the releasing of things that need to be released emotionally, so you can really write a new story. And that's what the Mercury and Jupiter has to do about some kind of connecting into that powerful conjunction of Mercury coming into conjunction with Jupiter again, to that it just feels like there's a release, there's a you know, using that to create, like, do some writing this week that's you creating your future, you creating what you want, and it's all positive, you embracing this positive mindset attitude, which allows you to receive the grace, which is gratitude, which is compassion, which is empathy, which is your ability to say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no. And maybe if that's what you mean, because you're not sure if it's a yes or a no, but you're just clear with yourself. So these clear channels of communication that are really opening, of you being in connection to your soul and receiving the wisdom and the feeling and trusting yourself and who you are, and trusting your feelings. And that's the big one. That's the big healing, trusting ourselves. Ooh, God, that's a big one. Trusting ourselves, trusting our emotions, trusting our feelings, because there's been a huge program of negating the feminine that runs through the genders, and a huge program of denying the feminine. And so that's really created this doubt in ourselves, and the disempowerment that comes from the doubt and not trusting ourselves, and where we got conditioned out of trusting ourselves. So that's the big healing. That's the crux of it. That's the like really coming into connection and belonging to yourself, that allows you to come into connection and belonging to other people. And so belonging to your, you know, your primary family, your blood family, belonging to the tribe of your friends, belonging to the bigger tribe that connects you into the community that you really belong and identify to. And then there's the largest tribe, the tribe of human, being a part of this human family. So that's what this winter solstice is really highlighting, these rushes, these understanding, maybe not rushes, but just these like understandings of like, wow, we are all connected, and I am connected. That's the specific I am connected. So to speak to this this winter solstice that comes in on Friday, with Mercury and Jupiter coming into an exact conjunction in Sagittarius, and that full moon that comes in the next day at the 1st degree of Cancer. So the moon is receiving the sun's light of Capricorn, the 1st degree of Capricorn, and it's the 1st degree of Cancer moon. Here's the moon, here's the sun. Sun is shining on the moon. Moon is reflecting to the sun, and it's through the 1st degree frequency. So that 1st degree frequency is vital. It's like this vital experience of I am. So we'll just call that the first degree frequency, the I am frequency. So you can tune into that, or through each sign journey, that first degree frequency has this I am energy to it. So in the I have Cancer that's receiving this Capricornian light. And the interesting thing about the Capricorn and Cancer polarity, they are opposites. They are opposite sign journeys, but they have a unique, it's really interesting to get into the polarities of the different sign journeys. So so real quick, like Taurus opposes Scorpio, Aries opposes Libra, Sagittarius opposes Gemini, Pisces opposes Virgo, Leo opposes Aquarius, and Cancer opposes Capricorn. There is this inside the sign journeys of Cancer and Capricorn, I call them the crown polarity. They have this connection to our origins. They hold I'll say it this way, in the Akashic records of Cancer and in the Akashic records of Capricorn, there is held this of the origins of us. So the origin of me, right? The origin of you, the origin of your I, this little I that's like, oh my God, this whole thing. That is what this full moon is really opening up inside of us emotionally, to receive our origins and really come into our I am belonging to the whole thing, right? Full moon in Cancer at the first degree on the winter solstice. Hallelujah. Wow. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. I have an event on December 22nd. It's online, a Zoom call. It's tuning into the powerful the winter solstice and the full moon, and the powerful conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn that begins also on Saturday. Just adding that in before I wrap this up. So if you're interested in my event, I will be posting a link to it down below. And if you're interested in readings, you can email me at starpoweralchemy@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate any comments. Much love, and enjoy the week being you.